I'm Caitlin Sapp, and today I'll be showing you how to add and track your community engagement through YSU PenguinPulse. If you haven't watched the first video in this series, definitely go check it out. That gives you an intro into YSU PenguinPulse, including how to log in and find some volunteer opportunities. So say you logged into PenguinPulse, you found a volunteer opportunity that interested you, you registered for the event, and of course you volunteered at the event, and now you're wondering what happens next. YSU PenguinPulse allows you to add and track your community service through what are called impacts. An impact is exactly that, how you are impacting the community around us. So I'm going to share my screen and go ahead and walk you through how to add an impact. So this screen you're seeing here is the Sokolov Honors College homepage. So we're going to go over to this little blue Add Impact button, and it brings up this short form that you'll have to fill out. So before we go too far, I wanted to touch on this add timesheet option. This is super helpful if you volunteer for a particular organization regularly. That allows you to just come in and add the different days and times that you volunteer with them, rather than filling out the lengthier form that we're going to go through now. But for the time being, we're just going to add a single impact. And so this first dropdown is asking if you attended a listed event or volunteer opportunity. So I volunteered at the YSU BACMed camp last week, so I'm going to select that one. And then the second dropdown is the different roles that are present at the event. So I gave these library tours. And now you're just going to go through the different questions. So my impact was not for a course. The date automatically filled in because I selected this event. If you do not select an event, you will have to put the date in yourself. It's asking you how much time you spent. So I was there from about 8 to 3, which is 7 hours. And then this box here is probably the most important on the screen. It's asking you to take some time to reflect on your experience. So definitely don't just brush this over. It's super important to think about what you learned, what you offered to others, and just what this experience meant to you personally. So I often type out my reflections beforehand, so I'm just going to go ahead and copy and paste those. Right. And so I described my experience and then also explained how this experience helped me to deepen my knowledge. This next box is optional, but you're more than welcome to fill it in. I always at least give my impacts a little 5-star rating. And then the final box down here is the sharing and privacy settings. This is completely up to you. However, we would like to see what you're doing. So definitely at least share it to Youngstown State University. And then by default, that makes the impact private, but anyone within Youngstown State University will be able to see your impact. So once everything is filled out, you'll just go ahead and add the impact. And you'll get a little confirmation here. So it just shows you what you did, who you did it with, and then it also shows your reflections here. So now that you've added the impact, you want to see where all of your impacts live. So this screen can also be found by going to My Activity and then selecting Impacts. And what's really cool on this screen is that you can request an impact summary. So if you press this Print Summary button, it's going to pull up a PDF. So this shows all the different organizations that I've volunteered with, calculates my hours for me. And then if you scroll down, this shows the individual events that you volunteered at. So this is super cool for a resume, or if you just want to brush up on what you've done prior to an interview, that sort of thing. Now, say you volunteered with an organization that wasn't through YSU. You found the opportunity on your own. So the best way to do that is to go back to My Activity and then Impacts, and then add the impact through this screen. So this green button here. And now you're just going to type in the organization that you volunteered with. So I often volunteer with my church, so I'm going to put St. Christine Church here. And now it's searching for St. Christine's. So as you can see, my church isn't embedded into PenguinPulse. So I'm going to go up here to this Can't Find It button. and it's just going to ask me for a little bit more information. So let's say St. Christine Church is located in Youngstown. And again, this impact was not for a course. And then because St. Christine's isn't already on PenguinPulse with the page of their own, it's asking me for a verifier. So whenever you volunteer, I always recommend that you get someone's name and email just in case you need it for this step. And then after you fill out the verifier, this form is exactly the same as the one we just filled out. So again, you would just add impact, and then once you finish that one, that would also show up under your impacts tab. So after you've submitted this, as you can see, this says pending, this one says verified. So we at Honors typically work through our impacts by the end of the semester. So I definitely encourage you to add the impacts as you complete them. There's a few things that happen if you wait until the very end. One, it typically takes longer for us to verify them, and there's the chance that you forget what you've done throughout the semester. So definitely just add your impacts as you do them, and that'll be in everyone's best interest. So once again, thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe and check out the next student tutorial video on using YSU PenguinPulse for a course.